I do. Might be in the 40.
Hello, hello, hello. Don't seem to be able to hear myself. Ah, there we are. That's better. Okay. Merry Christmas, everybody. Sorry I'm so late, by the way. I was hoping to start at 8 o'clock, but my day's been a bit out of sync, I'm afraid. Okay, I'm just going to move my OBS around. Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's find some games to play. How's everyone doing? Chris Peach says, Happy Christmas. Yes, Happy Christmas to you too. By the way, my lighting is really weird, but one of my lighting diffuser umbrellas decided to collapse today, and I'd forgotten that I'd actually had it held together with gaffer tape, and it looks like the gaffer tape's finally melted off it. Chris is saying it's Chris. Okay, hi Chris, how's it going? So yeah, if my light on this side looks a bit weird, that's why. Chris is saying I'm doing okay. Just finished the mulled wine. Oh, nice one, man. Yeah, I've not had any alcohol at all today. I might have a beer as we play, but we'll see. I'm actually drinking tea at the moment, and part of the reason why I'm late is because I feel like absolute shit today. Screen is black. Yeah, I know. I've just turned my desktop off. Nobody needs to see my perverted desktops. I'm going to figure out a game to play while we're talking. So in fact, fuck it. Let's just I'll put my desktop on while we're waiting. At least you got something to look at. All right. So yeah. So I had a couple of drinks last night, and I'm not a big drinker anymore, right? I used to drink a lot, but I only had a couple of beers last night before I went to bed, and God, it was so hard to get up today. And there's literally just a couple of beers, man. So I know that I'm getting old and can't drink anymore. Yeah, here we go. Right, so what should we do today? Because I think probably the best bet. Let me just see if I can figure out my screen a little bit better. I think the best thing for me to do is just to put something on and just play while we're talking. I was considering playing Shadow Empire. I think the majority of the people who like my channel tend to like Shadow Empire. The other thing I could play is Conquest of Elysium. I think Conquest of Elysium would be easier for me to play while I'm just sort of talking to you and chilling out. So that's one thing I can do. What else have we got? Somebody mentioned Age of Wonders 4. Now, I would have done that for fun, but I don't actually have it installed. Chris is saying, how about Galciv 4? I'm not going to play Galciv. The reason being is just because, one, it's really long, and two, I don't really want to be playing anything that I play at work on Christmas Day, to be honest with you. Not that I don't like Galciv, because I do. It's funny. So for Explominate this year, sorry, I don't know why I've got Frozen Cortex up on here. So for Explominate this year, I was asked, to do a little, just write a few pieces about my favourite games, or the 4X games that I've played the most this year. And the 4X games that I've played the most this year are Galciv 4, Sins of a Solar Empire 2, and Ashes of the Singularity 2, which is an RTS. Zephon. No, I've uninstalled that Zephon. I'm pissed off with Zephon at the moment. So Sniff Dog saying, hope you're having a good day all. Yeah, how's it going, Sniff Dog? Chris is saying Zephon. Yeah, so I played another game of Zephon through again, and I was like, right, I'm going to try to disprove my theory that diplomacy breaks Zephon, because I think I might have got it wrong here. So I played it through again. I got through to the end again, and it was exactly the same situation where the game was just trivially easy because I'd basically played well with the diplomacy game. So it got to the end, and the end game crisis came up, and there was no way that I could lose. Like I could have just sat and hit end turn, over and over and over again, and I would have won the game. So like, what's the point? So no, I don't like Zephon. I want to like it. I like everything about it really, other than the gameplay. It's like, I really, really love the theme. I think the artwork is amazing. I think that the backdrop, the setting, like the world they've created is fantastic. I love everything about the the presentation. I think the graphics are great. I think the music is some of the best music that we've got in any 4X game. Zephon is just like, it could be the perfect game, but they put diplomacy back in the game, and it breaks the game completely. Chris P saying, Chris is saying, can you not play without the endgame crisis? You can, but what's the point? Like, the thing is, the endgame crisis is the only thing that makes Zephon make sense, because if you take the endgame crisis away, it's Gladius but with diplomacy, and diplomacy breaks 4X games, right? So like, it's just too easy to cheese. Chris is saying, best music in 4X game is Stars in Shadow. Okay, you've got really good taste. Stars in Shadow, man, have I got that installed, I wonder? That's a damn good game, that is. No, it doesn't look like I have. And it'll take a little while to install that one. Ah, man, Stars in Shadow is good, though. Like that, yeah, I agree. I think that's got amazing music as well. I really, really enjoyed that. What can I play? I'm not really, sorry guys, I'm not really well prepared today. I think I will play a strategy game, because I think if I sit and play an arcade game, something, you guys are going to be annoyed. Sniff Dog saying, if non-4Xs are on the menu, have you tried the Menace demo? No, I've not yet. I've heard it's pretty good. No, but I haven't played it yet. So I was watching Daz Tactic talk about Menace. In fact, we did a podcast for Meta Abuse, and Daz Tactic was talking about Menace, and Sean, and they were saying that it's really good. So I need to check it out. It's an XCOM like by the people who did Battle Brothers. So I like Battle Brothers. I don't like Firaxis XCOM likes, though. That's my thing. So I'm not a big fan. Whenever a game plays too much like Firaxis XCOM, it reminds me of Firaxis XCOM, and I don't like that game very much. What's happened to ISG lately? Interstellar Space Genesis. I got that one installed. No, I don't know. Heisenberg saying Gladius is better than Zephon. Yeah, I completely agree. Look, I think Zephon could be a great game, but they've got to fix this diplomacy problem because it breaks the game completely. Ashes 2. Okay, so the only problem with me playing Ashes 2 is I can't remember which build I'm supposed to be using. I think it's this one. And I'm pretty sure they're the same, but I need to be careful because if I play the wrong one, I could get in trouble for breaking NDA. So, I can't. I'd have to go offline and check. Yeah, I won't play Ashes 2 now. I am going to do some videos on Ashes 2 though. I think I will talk about Ashes 2 briefly. So I think if you like RTS games, right, you're going to know that there's different types of RTS games, and Ashes 2 is moving away from the sort of tier-based building system that you got in games like Supreme Commander, and it's also moving away a little bit from the need to have to manually control things like economic stuff. Okay, so yeah, it's streamlined now. Usually when games are streamlined, it means to me they've been dumbed down to hell. However, Ashes of Singularity, in my opinion, is not like that because by removing like excessive numbers of units and making it so that you're, so anybody who's played StarCraft, the original StarCraft, if you want to play StarCraft to a high level, right, you've got to be constantly moving between your economy units, your workers and your main forces, and you have to have quite a high action per minute. Now, that's really, really like stressful for most people. I think if you're an action game player, you'll probably like it, which is why my friend Mark MSX from the Electric Underground, he really likes StarCraft Brood War because he's an action game player, right? So he likes that, that thrill of having to, manage multiple things, and because it's more like an action game to him. Ashes is more of a strategic style game, and so even over something like Beyond All Reason or Supreme Commander, there's less micro control, but that's not to say there is no micro control. But the gameplay is the depth of the gameplay comes from how well designed all the different unit types are, and where there's specific spacing in your armies, the composition of your armies, and then where you're placing them. It's one of those examples of really simple mechanics that create very deep gameplay. And I think if Oxide can continue on that trajectory, if they don't get too allured by the idea of just throwing in stuff for the sake of it, and they can keep it lean like it is, it's going to be a banger in my opinion, because I think it's really clever. Sins 2 then. You want me to play Sins 2? Yeah, it's just one of those things. I don't know if I want to play something that I have to play at work all day. Hell, even Total Annihilation was excellent. Yeah, it was. I've actually got Total Annihilation on my computer here. I'm not very good at it though. Titan Shinto saying, it's why I like Sins 2. It's a nice pace for me and not too fast like Company of Heroes or Supreme Commander. Yeah, I agree, man. I'll show you Ashes 2. I think I can show you this build. So I think this is okay. I think this is the one I'm supposed to be using. I know for a fact, right? There's nothing content wise in this build that is NDA'd at the moment, because I'm about 99% sure I can show you this. I'm just going to turn my display off and put the camera on. It's going to go black for a minute, folks. Just see if we can. What's up? Now, okay. So if I play Ashes 2, just be aware, folks, that this is a alpha build, and there are bugs. And it might crash if it's like it's unfinished. Den Bonesman saying new Shadow Empire with the latest beta branch. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna show. Let me show you Ashes 2 first, and then oh, is that showing? Just to make sure this is working. There we are. Okay, so this is the build I can use. So as you can see, pre-alpha build, gameplay and content subject to change. All that we can play at the moment is a skirmish between the two UEF forces. Okay, and so yeah, we haven't put the PHC or the substrate in yet. PHC is coming soon, according to Brad, as he was saying in the live stream that we did. He did actually. If you go and watch that live stream, Brad actually said when they were coming. So you know, I think he said, but I'm not going to repeat that just in case it's something I'm not allowed to tell you about. But Brad can say whatever he wants, obviously. But yeah, it's not long until you get to have a peek at those. Okay, what do we do? Wow, look at these. Put those maps in. Okay. I'm not sure which one is which. Might just play Twin Lakes. I think that might be a nice map, but I forget now. I'll put the AI on normal. The AI is pretty good, by the way. Okay, Ashes 1 is on GOG for £2.50. I think I'll get that. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't play Ashes 1 very much at all. I had a quick go at it, but it wasn't something that I really got into. Right, so as you know with RTS, you got to play kind of quickly. Let's get some... Okay, we've got some defenders here. I want Durantium. Now, there is a way just to build... There we go. You just click on the Durantium deposits. Yeah, I actually... Yeah, I actually think I want a motor pool. Although I think I've got to build this one first. Okay. There's some nice little things that stop you from... Oh, no, we want to go there. I was going to the Durantium thing. So it's basically... It uses this region-based system, like a 4X game. And that's really cool. Here are our resources. We've got Durantium, Ellerite, Quanta, and Logistics. Quanta's for our research. Oh, we're getting attacked here. That's interesting. Well, in that case, we want to build a new army. Let's get some rifle squads out. Oh, we can actually build leopards already as well. Okay, did I build... Okay. Oh, I see why. It's allowing me to queue those up because I'm building up a new building. Okay, so I want cavaliers, but we can't build cavaliers yet. Let's just move these guys out. These aren't going to do very well against those guys. Let's just get the Durantium deposit up. So these riflemen are going to do fairly well against these little tanks because they can't target them very well. Okay, I'm just going to put these on auto replenish. Okay, and those guys are capturing that. All right, so we can bring these guys back down this way. All right, I also want to get... Yes. Okay, yeah, that's assault. Now we got a little tech tree, so this is different. Doomison's saying, Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. Bilko1010 is saying, I'm too old for RTS. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not too old for this one. This is an RTS that anybody can play. Whether you'll be good at it or not is a completely different matter. Because yes, it is easier to play than some other older RTSs. At least at the start, it isn't an easy game. So don't be fooled into thinking it's easy. No, we want research next. So, how do I build a research lab? Oh, we need an Ellerite extractor. Okay, we don't have that yet. Oh, there's one up there, look. So, we would have to send our infantry. Let's send those infantry up there. In fact, we can get another... I think we'll get another army, and we'll just get some Pathfinders. And we'll send those infantry out this way. Okay. We got Ellerite here now, look. There we are. Okay, so once we've got the Ellerite reserve up, we can actually start building the... Should be able to build a research lab once that's up. I get a supply depot up here. Where are we being attacked? Oh, here we are. Okay, let's get a leopard up with those guys as well. Okay, grab this one here. Building an Ellerite extractor. Still can't get the research yet. Okay, Durantium? Yeah, there's a Durantium extractor here. There's some more Ellerite behind us. Let's send the group 3 out this way. I'm actually going to upgrade these guys now with another Pathfinder unit because... Oh, looks like we've hit the edge of the map. Okay, this is the back of the map then. Oh, of course it is. Okay. Yeah, you got to be quite quick on this. And by the way, the AI is really good, so it is going to beat me if I'm not if I don't get a move on. Okay, we can get a research lab up now. Now I'm get a research lab. So what do we got here? So let's close that. Air superiority or forward recon? Yeah, I want forward recon. I don't care about air stuff yet. It was actually really good fun playing this with Brad Wardell when we did the live stream together, because he was playing and I was just watching him really, but it was really fun. Brad's always a good laugh to hang out with, man. Like when I get the job assigned to me to do a live stream with Brad, it's always really cool. Okay, got another Ellerite extractor here. I think I'm actually going to put up some. I'm going to put a base here as well. Let's get a barracks. I like using a lot of infantry as these guys, because oh, look at this. I'm going to send these guys here. Yeah, so 3. We got loads and loads of units. Sorry, loads of money. So 2, I want to get some of these cavalier teams. We'll get some anti-air as well. This is going to be my main group, I think, my main strike force. Okay, we'll send these guys up this way. I'll send group 1 over here. Once we've got that captured. We've got Durantium. There we are. There's another one here too, but that's out of my range. Okay, let's see what's over here. So we've got another barracks up. I'm going to get another force. Let's get some pathfinders. So the infantry are really strong against tanks. Devon Cop saying, let me pause it. Devon Cop saying, great to see you today, and it goes well with my single malt. Oh, nice, man. I've got some whiskey as well, but I'm going to leave that till later. Thanks for the ISG recommendation on your tier list video. I had it on Steam for years, but just started playing, and it's really cool. Yeah, I think Interstellar Space Genesis is a really good game. I don't really play it that much myself. I don't know why. It's not that I don't like it. I think it's a really good game. I think I've just got other stuff to do. But yeah, I think it's a superb game. And yeah, Chris is agreeing. Yeah, I love ISG too. Stars in Shadow is another one to look out for if you like ISG. I agree. I actually prefer Stars in Shadow. And the reason for that is just because I really like the theme, and you know, as Chris was saying, I really like the music. Everything about Stars in Shadow is just really nicely made. I think it's a tighter game. Although not everyone agrees. Some people prefer the Interstellar Space Genesis. I think they're both very different takes on Master of Orion 2 or Master of Orion. Okay. So this group 4, I want to start recruiting more troops. So I want this to be a big swarm. Okay. And we've got Ellerite as well. Okay, let's get the aircraft now, which means we can put an air base up. I think I'll put it up here. So, where are we? Airfield. Can we put that airfield where it's not going to get destroyed? There we go. I'll put a Vanguard turret and a flak battery. Okay. Yeah, the AI, by the way, the AI is really good at sending stuff around the back. I don't know if is it done that? No. But I want another army here, and I want to fill it with cavalier teams. That should be enough just to guard us. Durantium's looking alright. Send group 1 out. Oh wow, those guys need to be on auto-replenish. I'm going to put everybody on auto-replenish. Yeah, group 1's looking a bit shabby. 3 are going to start sending out towards the centre of the map. 5 is just going to be this home base defence, and you'll see why I need that in a minute. Because if you don't do that, the AI will surprise you. One of the thing that's really encouraging about this game is that the AI is really good already. Like Oxide has done a really good job of like making the AI really strong, and just that strong AI is enough to make the game really good, in my opinion. Okay, group 4. Let's send these guys out. We're going to recruit more cavalier teams. Yeah, just going to have a bit of a mix of stuff. Once we've got the airfield up, which is here, we can start making a new group. We'll have some Thunderbolts. Yeah, that'll do. 3 will be enough. And that's group 6. it was interesting watching Daz Tactic play this, and he was actually pausing all the time. So he was actually playing this not as a RTS, but more like a turn-based, turn-based game with active pause, or a real-time game with active pause, which I thought was really, really interesting. And Oxide were quite interested to see him play that as well, like that as well. They were like, didn't realize. I said to them, I didn't realize that people were going to play this game like this, and I think they were quite surprised to see that too. Okay, do we want the Stormbreaker, the Hammer, or the Armory? No, let's get the Armory. Okay. Okay, let's get to move up. Let's get a motor pool here. We'll start building some more motorized stuff out. We can build a Durantium refinery here, and another one here. And one here. Gosh, we've got a lot of resources. I'm doing pretty well for resources. Okay, let's go and send these guys in. And so as you can see, the game's all army based. You don't have to worry about troops being replenished. They just do it. You can set them to auto replenish. Okay. And you can mix and match your armies, and the composition of your armies are really important when you're coming up against other players. So, Devon Cop saying, yeah. Oh, sorry. Tyson Shinto is saying, I really like the things brought in from Sins 2, like the recruiting straight into an army, like the fleets in Sins 2. Yeah, that was a direct influence. I think it's just such a great system because you don't have to micromanage that now. You do have to be. So now it's more. What's more important is figuring out where your armies are going to be taking damage. Because if you think about your armies more like a front. Like that's how I kind of see them. It's like, this is my main army now. It's my main forces moving forwards, and I'm going to see this is like a front. I see it like a front, and so you're going to be sending troops from any of your bases. So when you replenish like an infantry troop, it will replenish the infantry from the first barracks that you've got, but the rate will be determined by the number of barracks, right? So it won't be sending like one infantry from here, one from down here, one from here. It doesn't work like that. Actually, what it's doing is it's sending them. From they always recruit from the very forward barracks. So I've noticed the camera's just a little bit laggy. Okay, I have got the game paused for a minute while I'm talking to you guys. Gunships sound good. Okay, so let's get some of those up for group. Oops, sorry guys, I'm hitting my lamp with my fingers. I want the hammer when it's ready. Okay. Devon Cop saying, yeah, I have Stars in Shadow, but I bounced off that one for some reason. Yeah, I think some people do. Some people don't like the art style. It's kind of like got a comic book art style. I really like that. I think the art's really good in it, and the music's really cool as well. And it looks kind of cartoonish, but in terms of theme, it's really not. It's kind of serious. Chris is saying I think the AI is better than ISG. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and Devon Cop saying, yeah, I think the art may have been the killer for immersion for me. So yeah, ISG, I think, sorry, Interstellar Space Genesis, I think that is that's the main critique that people have about it, is that, you know, it was a bit of an immersion breaker. But if you stick with that game, it's really, really good. It's got one of the best game AIs in 4X. And I really rate having, you know, a good game AI. I think it's really important. How are we doing for... Oh, now we can get some hammers. So I'm gonna have 4 as a bit of a death blob, and we're gonna move the death blob up this way. Now this is probably the furthest point that I'm gonna be able to hold for a while, unless the AI is not on the ball. The first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna get up a armory, and we're gonna get up a motor pool and a barracks, and then we're gonna get Durantium, and then I think we're gonna fortify this region too. Vanguard turret. Another Vanguard turret. Here we go. Okay, so we bumped into an enemy army. So let's we're going to be playing a little bit carefully here. I'm going to send group 2 up this way. Now these guys need more leopards. I think these need to have tanks. So let's make that a large tank force. Well, 4 is going to be a bit of a tar pit. Wow, look at these tanks. But they built a lot of tanks. And they're going to run straight into... Oh no, they've got artillery. So we got to go for those fast, otherwise we're going to lose all these infantry really quickly. Okay. Be interested to see what happens here. Let's send group 2 just around the back. Yeah, let's send group 2 in just to help finish these guys off. And we've got the group 3 coming in too. Okay. Now, we must not neglect our rest of our economy. By the way, group 5, I am going to continually build these guys up. Got to be a little bit careful not to... on this build, by the way, that I think there were some little issues with crashing when there was too many units on the map. So I've just got to be a little bit careful not to proc that. Let's go and take these resources off this guy, and then we're going to steal this territory. Okay, what do we want here? Get an airfield up. And I'm just going to continually recruit troops for these. I'm going to get some of these Orion snipers. And then some more leopards. And probably some cavalier teams. Now, I've not seen the AI using infantry a whole lot yet. There we go. Okay, group 3, I want you over this way. Group 2, I want you to head up this way. While 4 is going to stay and guard this lot. There we go. So group 2... Oh yeah, they do need to be replenished. Yeah, 4's looking a bit shabby as well. I'll keep 4 here. So, got some Durantium deposits that we want to build on. Okay, we can get the Stormbreaker now. Stormbreaker is very nice for breaking, for damaging, destroying buildings. Okay. There's 3. Group 3 have actually, yeah, we're doing well to take this off the enemy here. Okay, group 1. I want more leopards here for this group, because I think what we'll do here is we'll put up a motor pool just to help support this thrust. Okay, back to the front line. There we go. Okay, we've pushed these guys back. They're not expanding quite as fast as me. Although, look, we need another group here, so let's get another army. I'm going to get some Pathfinders and some Leopards. That's going to be group 6. We'll send those guys over this way to go and grab that. Okay. Alright, 4 needs to replenish. Yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff here. I think we put up a motor pool here. And we'll get another barracks. Yeah, I want some Leopards. I'll take some of those from the armory that we had. Alright. So this is a very fast-paced short map, by the way. Ah, okay, they're coming up this way. I'm going to move the group 3 back here because they're not equipped to deal with these. We'll do a bit of a retreat. So yeah, watch these guys come in. I'm going to send 2 round this way. Oh look, they've got a fairly large force. They're splitting them off. I'm going to put some Vanguard turrets. Now, let's put a bunch of those. We've got quite a lot of resources. Ah, this is what we need though. We need more supply. That's the problem. That's where I've been failing. So let's just get some supply bases up. Okay. Okay, we're losing this group here, but that's alright. I don't mind. Oh, wow, look, they're coming at me with a lot of troops here. Let's send this big tar pit trap infantry in, and we're going to bring group 2 back. I'll let them shoot. They can blink away at those guys as much as they want. Yeah, this is the mistake I've made here. Oh, look, enemy, as I expected. They brought an army round this side. Wow, this is dangerous. We need to get some more supply bases up very quickly. Okay, here back at 5, by the way. Group 5. Group 5. I want some of these too. This is looking a little bit dangerous back at home, but I did prepare for it. If that had caught me by surprise, I'd be dead by now. But we're starting to. Wow, look how many enemies the enemies are throwing at me. Just look at the scale of this game, by the way, guys. This is what I love about Sins of a Solar Empire 3. Ashes of the Singularity 2. It's massive scale, except it's so easy to play, and you know you're dealing with big enemy armies in this. Okay. Yeah, we've managed to defeat these, and that's because I built lots of infantry, and they did not have anything that could defeat infantry. They brought tanks to an infantry fight, and just like in real life, if you send loads of tanks into, you know, an area populated by infantry with anti-tank weapons, they're going to die. Okay, I do want, on this main army, number 4, I want more Thunderbolts. Okay. Do I want any of these? Yeah, let's get some more Durantium income. Yeah, okay, so we're winning on the front. I do want to start moving this force this way. Where's Group 1? Okay. Yeah, I'm really not very good at multitasking, by the way. That's why I'm not very good at RTS games. Let's get number 5. Let's get more Cavalier teams. I think that if they do come back again, they'll probably try to do the same thing and come around this way. I got another army up here. There we are. Okay, I'll put those guys up here. Oh, where's that other region? There we go. Got a Durantium reactor here. Let's get a motor pool. And I have an airfield. And we want supply. Oh, we got loads of supply now. Though those supply depots went up fast. Okay. I've got Group 2 and Group 4 working in tandem here. I think I'd probably rather move Group 4 now to start towards the enemy's HQ. They've got a column of, what are these? They're recon tanks coming in. I'll send these guys this way. I'm just going to catch up with some of this. Dembo's been saying, you've got a weird vertical line here. You maybe camera. Oh yeah, it's my green screen. Sorry, folks. Oh, that's odd. Oh, I see what it is. It's the corner of my monitor. Sorry about that, folks. Ido, hello. What game? This is Ashes of the Singularity 2. It's a pre-alpha build. So for those of you who don't know, I work for Stardock, and Stardock published this game. It's made by Oxide Studios. Stardock are the publisher, and yeah, so this is one of the games that I've been working to help promote. So yeah, I'm just playing it because it's fun. My mate, Chris is saying this looks so much like Subcom. It's not really like, it doesn't play anything like Supreme Commander. Supreme Commander is much more micro-intensive, and it's got the old Total Annihilation style tier-based unit systems. It's completely different. It looks like it's... If you imagine Distant Worlds and Stellaris, how different games they are, that's what this is like. It's, you know, compared to Subcom. Subcom's completely different, man. It looks similar, but it plays nothing like it. This is very much a faster-paced game. And, you know, less about sort of extensive economy management stuff. Oh, I'll get that Durantium deposit. There we are. Okay. Oh yeah, I've not put any radar up yet. That would be a good idea. So, okay, we're really pushing into the enemy. I think I'm going to win this now. Unless the AI has got something up its sleeve. It's coming down this side, look. Let's get that Group 1 down. Okay, I'm going to get a motor pool here, and we're going to build a barracks. And then Group 1, I actually want to recruit some more. Let's get a couple of Orions. Oh, they're going to come from the armory, though. In which case, we'll put an armory up here, too. And get some more leopards. The basic tanks in this are good if they don't get bogged down by infantry. Now, Group 4. I actually want... Let's get some Stormbreakers now. Yeah, I'm not using all my resources. Let's get some more of these guys in. Okay, I'm building a lot of stuff now, so I'm going to be a little bit careful. Pushing in towards the enemy's HQ, look. What have they got? They are actually using artillery. Yeah, they're going to kill our infantry pretty quickly. So I want to start transitioning away from using infantry into our own artillery stuff, I'd say. Group 2. Let's get them guys around this side. Oh no, they've got look, we've got an enemy base here. It's sorry folks. Got a bit of a glitch with the camera, it looks like. Let's get these guys in here. Okay, how's Group 4 doing? Yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Now we need more anti-air stuff by the looks of it. Because we're getting hit pretty hard by those gunships there. And we don't have anything that can counter them apart from our aircraft, which seem to have been shot down. Now our own gunships can fight them. But I think we're close enough now, look, that we might be able to start taking out the HQ, which is this building here. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. We've not got any thunderbolts. I see. Okay, let's bring Group 4 back, and we're going to be replenishing those thunderbolts. We need more. We need more airfields. Let's get 2 airfields up so we can rapidly replenish those groups. We're going to get another armory here. Okay. I've got Durantium. Looks like we're doing all right for Durantium. Let's get a radar tower up. Edge of the AI's territory. Okay, let's bring these guys back in. I just need some thunderbolts, just so we've got something to defend against. But looks like our attack here is actually successful down this side. Group 1, we're going to bring these guys up this way. Oh, yeah, it's definitely got a bit of lag on the camera. I'm going to have to report that. Okay. Okay, let's get some more of these thunderbolts. I want lots of thunderbolts up here. Yeah, we just don't quite have enough anti-air. We've got 3 groups of Trident. I want some more of those. We've got plenty of materials. We've run out of Ellerite. That's the problem. So have we got any Ellerite on the map? There we go. There's some. Oh, that looks like it's owned by the AI. Oh, looks like the enemy has been bombarding our stuff. Let's get a new army. We'll get some Pathfinders. We'll bring those guys up there. We'll go and see if we can secure ourselves some Ellerite. So that's the thing that's stopping me at the moment. A bit of an economic issue. But I think we might be able to push through and take out the HQ. So let's see what we can do here. We're getting pretty close. It's just that we're getting trashed by enemy aircraft. And they've also got a lot of bombers as well. No. Yeah, you see. Bit of a problem here. So yeah, as I said, guys, this is a very early build. It's pre-alpha. It's not even an alpha yet. So just be aware that there are going to be little glitches because it's still in development. I'm pretty close, but I just can't quite. I can't get through this air defenses they've got. I'm gonna actually bring my tank. I'm gonna bring my tanks back, and we need to find some Ellerite, which is the gas. It's like the AI has been bombed. Either I've not been picking up on the Durantium, or they've been bombing me. What do we got here? Okay, we could get the Phoenix for the bombing run, or the Deep Strike orbitals. Deep Strike squad. There we go. Look, you can just throw some enemy units in there. Look, you can get a bombing run as well. They've actually, the AI is doing quite well. Look, of going around me. So I was pushing for that victory, but actually making a bit of a mistake there because I've allowed the AI to retake some of the stuff that it had got. Okay, I need more flak because I think they're hitting me with air stuff. Let's get a motor pool up here. If I can't build enemy aircraft, sorry, if I can't build anti-aircraft stuff or my own fighters, then I probably want aircraft. Let's get research lab up. Yeah, they're really pushing back at me. Where are we? Yeah, I want not those. I want tridents, leopards. Okay. Group 2. Oh. Let's just move these guys in. So one needs to move in here as well. Let's. Oh, we got some Ella right here that we could grab. So let's go and take these. 5. Group 5's at home. Yeah, that's right. Let's go and send those guys out this way. We've got Group 8, which I built to go and... So the AI is really good at, you know, actually going for the objectives on the map, where I've been really stupid and forgot to do that. Okay, here's Group 4. Yeah, we just do not have Ellerite, look. That's the big problem we've got. Okay. Let's bring Group 4 back here. I'm going to build a whole bunch of these turrets, just as a bit of a bulwark. Okay, let's send these guys out. And there's the Ellerite we need. Okay, we've now managed to cut off the enemy in terms of their power. Let's get Group 3 coming in here. So what I really like about this is you don't have to manually replace anything in your army. So you can just set the levels of what you want, and the computer will do it for you. Oh right. I think I want more leopards, not the Pathfinders. I want more leopards. Well, now this is going to be a big battle, look, because the AI has brought a lot of stuff, but he's going to have to deal with this as well. Let's send 1 in as well, and 3. I think I'll send Group 3 over here. So, oh, come on. Yeah. A little bit of a glitch with the camera, with the WASD camera, I think. What do we got here? Yeah, lots of Cavaliers. It's really the Thunderbolts we need. Okay, we can get the Titan. I'm actually going to go for... Yeah, a lot of this stuff's not in, by the way. A lot of the new research isn't in yet. Yeah, some of it's not implemented. Let's just drop in a turret here. See if we can hold these guys back. I would like to build a radar tower if we can, so we can see what the enemy is sending at us. Okay. Oh, they're sending a really large army this way. Okay. 2 and 3 are coming this side. Send them that way. We're gonna have to hold here. I feel like I've lost the momentum now. Let's send a bunch of those guys, the Cavalier teams in. Here we go. Alright. We've won the battle in center. Now we just need to replenish. Try and push the enemy back. Okay, let's send these guys in this way. And we'll send Group 1 in this way. Okay, Group 5. Let's send these guys in. I'm going to send them up to the front line, I think. And then 8, which is my Ah, alright. Don't mind if I do. Got more here as well. Okay, that's going to help. Send group here 8 further north. Got some more Ellerite up there at the top. There's some here too that I'd like to take. Now you can split unit elements off too. Let me just catch up with some of the comments. Chris is saying battle mode. I'm done with Stellaris as a 4X. After 4.0, I'm done with it. I keep trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Just when I try to get used to it, they change it. So no more Stellaris for me. Yeah, I gave up with it after 2.0. I just stopped playing it. I just don't like Stellaris anymore. I think it sucks. Although I do like watching Montu play it because Montu knows how to get fun out of Stellaris. So I don't know if you know Montu plays. Montu's great. I like that guy a lot. I met him at the Stardock. I met him when we went over to Stardock, and he's just cool, man. He's a really nice guy. But he knows how to play Stellaris. He knows how to find the fun in that game. Doomson, just the reinforcement of the armies in this game seems to address some of my gripes, as I'm not a 250 APM spring chicken by any means. No, neither am I. I mean, you know, look, I say though, if you're an older guy like me, or you know, I'm in my mid-40s. It's really important to do APM stuff because you want to keep yourself sharp, right? But yeah, Titan Shinto says, can't wait to play this and have some crazy 3v3 madness. Yeah, this is such a great multiplayer game, I tell you. I played a few games of this multiplayer and it's so fun. Again, I played it against Montu, and it was really, really good fun. He was a laugh. He beat me though. Like Montu's actually quite a good RTS player, man. Disaster 40k. Hello, hey Ben. Did you have a look at Flashpoint Campaigns Cold War? No, not yet. I have the first Flashpoint Campaigns game, which I really liked, but I haven't got the other two. Slytherin used to send me a lot of stuff. They don't send me so much stuff anymore, so I like to buy their games when I get the opportunity. But Bilko 101, Bilko 1010, sorry, saying I've started playing more historical war games. They're not a visual feast, but scratch an itch. I think the actual history adds a lot. Yeah, they are that is a you know, a rabbit hole. It's a real rabbit hole. I love historical war games. One of my favorite games ever is Fulda Gap 85 by War Games Design Studio, or John Tiller. It's just that's just such a great series, man. Okay, I'm going to catch up with some of the comments in a minute. Let's get another airfield up, because I feel like we need airfields now, air support. Oh, we still don't have the Ellerite for it. Let's kill that. We don't need too many of those airfields then if we can't even get anything out there. Okay, have we crushed this enemy? Have we killed these guys yet? Yeah, we're gonna move. We're gonna move in on this side. Let's bring Group 1 in. Oh, good job I built those towers. Invictus, hello. This game looks epic but kind of intimidating for me personally after playing turn-based games for so long. Look, you can play it. You can actually play it like Daz plays it, where you can just pause it. So you can pause and ponder your moves and stuff. It's actually really, really easy to play, believe it or not. It looks big and chaotic, but seriously, man, just try playing it. It's like, well, you won't be able to yet because it's not out. But I think that this is the RTS games for people who think they can't play RTS anymore, because the pacing is quite slow compared to, you know, games that require your attention in multiple places. It's not a game like that, really. It is, but it's, you know, it gives you more time to do it. That doesn't mean to say that it's not, you know, that it's dumbed down or anything. I think that this game is beautiful because of its simplicity. The simplicity of the mechanics are actually its strong point. Invictus said, also my PV would do an airstrike in my room on behalf of my CPU. Let's see what we can get. Let's get some let's get a radar tower down here so we can see a little bit more. I think I've won this game now. Look guys, look, I'm pushing on his economy, and I don't think there's much you can do about it here. Yeah, look, my main force, I've kept, as you can see, look, I've kept this main force pretty well stocked. It's just aircraft we don't have, because I don't have the I don't know why I seem to have been allergic to getting Ellerite. That's a really bad move. So yeah, see how easy it is to find stuff as well. Look, like I found the Ellerite here immediately. Just everything's so easy to see. There we go. So game over. Chris is saying, yeah, I know of Monty. He likes Galaxy 4. He does, yeah. Invictus. I just started playing Hex of Steel. Really good World War II game. I don't think I've played that one. I'll have to check that. Yeah, he's saying, check it out, y'all. Okay, so that is Ashes of Singularity. It's a little bit rough at the moment because it's, it's still in development. But as you can see, like you can have fun with this already. This is a small map. The big maps are big, and the game AI is pretty good. I put that on normal, and I've played this a fair bit now, so I'm I'm not good at RTS games, but I'm not terrible. I know the basics of how to play them. Although you'll see that I really neglected, the economy in the corners. But for the most part, like you can, if you can maintain your economy enough to sustain a large push like this with a front like this, and you give it multiple unit types, then against the basic AI, that's a good way to play against it because it will throw massive amounts of units at you. But if you've got like plenty of infantry to soak up the tanks that they send at you, then yeah, you'll have a fair chance. The problem is if they start bringing artillery, you've got to think about how to deal with the artillery. And in that case, I brought the gunships. Look, so but you can control individual units. Look, if you want to, so you're not stuck to moving these armies, in big blobs. You can actually move individual groups of units around. So if you want to, just find some gunships and move those guys on their own, you can do all sorts of that. And then when you can do all sorts of stuff like that, and then you can just move the army as a big blob again. So there's actually loads of nuance within it, and I'm interested to see what expert RTS players do with it. I think they're going to break it, and that's I think they need to break it. We've got to break the game, figure out what's wrong with it, and then then make it better, basically. Michael Cook saying, "Merry Christmas, everyone." Hey, Merry Christmas, Michael. Chris is saying, I just bought the first one from GOG, £2.50 less than the price of £2.50 less than the price of coffee. It's worth a go. Yeah. Ashes, like the thing is, well, most people's computers can probably run Ashes of the Singularity one now. Whereas before it was a bit difficult. Anyway, guys, that's going to be Ashes of the Singularity. Let me, I'll come out of this now. But yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I can't tell you when that's coming out, but it's not going to be that long. I don't think you're not going to be waiting for it for years and years. All right, it's so yeah, Ashes 2 is well on the way. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes with the new the factions that they're doing. Let me just get my desk back up so you got something to look at. Yeah, so let me just catch up with the chat. I think that's it. Hex of Steel. Which one's that then? Let me just bring up a new window here. Okay, Hex of Steel. Which one's this? Well, refreshing World War II war game covering all fronts. Let's just have a look at this. Oh wow, it's got good reviews. Look, Warfrog Studio. Never heard of them. Fighting solo against a decent AI player. Against finally a decent AI throughout Europe, Africa, or the Pacific. Or against a friend in cross-platform PBM or real-time multiplayer. Co-op is also an option. Yeah. This looks alright, doesn't it? Okay, looks like it's got a large theatre size. Oh, it does look interesting. It looks like War Plan. So yeah, I really like the game. Oh, it's got a demo as well. I might have to check that out. Let me add that to my library and I'll download that at some point. Oh, it's on sale as well. Yeah, at the moment, I'm not really playing many war games apart from Shadow Empire. I think that I'm really trying to just get into Shadow Empire again because I've got a game that I want to finish. And once I've finished that game, I'm going to start a new one because Shadow Empire is my favourite 4X game, pretty much. I'd say one of my favourite. It's up there basically. It's probably my favourite. But yeah, Shadow Empire, man. I'm really excited. Excuse me. I'm really excited to play this again. Let me just boot the game up. and I'll show you the game that I've been playing. This is now bearing in mind that this game was, I don't know if anybody here has been following my Shadow Empire series, but the Minos Tribe. This I've had this game going for about 2 years now. I think I started in January 2024. So, and I've just had big breaks where I've just not played it because I kind of burned out on strategy games earlier this year. I got really sick of strategy games this year, and I just started playing almost exclusively arcade games, basically, because I play all kinds of stuff. I don't just play strategy. And I've built my channel on strategy games, right? But I think I'm going to make a separate channel for arcade game stuff, because I've been playing a lot of those and like retro games and things, because I'm really interested in games design, and those games are, you know, an excellent case study of good games design. Yeah, so this is my current strategy Shadow Empire game. Now, I'm gonna try and sell this to you. Like, why is it that I've been playing this for like 2 years and still enjoying it, and like, I'm not actually winning? Like, I'm actually losing this game. I've got 2 big wars. So if we go to the strategic map, the S map, sorry. So look, this is my little nation here, and I'm actually 167 turns in. So for those of you who know Shadow Empire, you're going to know that, you know, if you're 160 turns in and you've not won the game, that's really weird. But I'm actually, look, this is my main competitor, Goldstone here. These guys are massive. Then I've got these guys who are also an enemy. These guys are friendly with me at the moment, although we were at war for a bit, I think. Oh no, I don't know if I actually ever went to war with those. These guys, Brown Bond, I'm basically defeated, but I fought those for ages. But yeah, it's this big empire here. They're like where I should be. That should be me. But I made a mistake early in this game where, because the game mechanics had changed so much since I'd last played it. Like, I've not played Shadow Empire really thoroughly for about 4 years. I play it, you know, on and off, but I've not really like really heavily played it for about 4 years, 3-4 years. So when I played, oh no, about 3 years. It was when Oceania came out. Jatzy is saying, I just want naval stuff. Yeah, so it was when Oceania came out. I played that, and then I stopped playing for a little while, and just other games came up. I was playing Dominions, I think, at the time. Conquest of Elysium. When Conquest of Elysium 5 came out, I was playing that a lot. And yeah, so and then I kind of misjudged how much the ammo rules had changed. So I started a war with these guys, this minor nation here. Right at the start of the game, without having any ammunition. And I was like, I didn't realize that ammunition really, you know, you used it like crazy now. And yeah, I got stuck into this decade. Like, it was like 50 turns to beat a minor nation. It was ridiculous. And then I ended up sort of like doing really well. I actually started doing well, and I made a push into, you know, this guy here. Or these guys here, sorry. But then I got attacked by them and them at the same time. So then I got pushed on everyone. And now I'm basically in decline because my economy's a wreck. I can't keep workers in my buildings, in my assets. So yeah, work happiness is finally starting to go up. I think it's starting to heal. So the world is healing, but before my work happiness was really low. So I was losing workers. My happiness work, like, that's interesting. Population happiness is actually on the rise now. Yeah, I might be able to do something with this game finally. But because I've got no workers, basically, I've got no logistics, as you can see. Look, everybody's starving on the front because there's no logistics, because there's no workers to drive all the trucks. And so we've got an scary enemy pushing in on me. Now, I'm lucky because I've got this desert to defend. But I was talking to Vic, and I was saying to Vic, like, I really love playing on the back foot, because I found Shadow Empire too easy for years. I felt that even though the AI is good, there were certain bugs and things, and you know, just the mechanics were just not polished enough quite yet to make the game that difficult for me, at least, because I've played this a lot, right? Like, I'm a veteran of this game. But oh boy, has Vic fixed this game up in a big way over the last 2 years. And especially making all the economy stuff more difficult, which is just what I wanted. Because like, if I'm playing on a desert planet like this, I want to be scrounging. Yeah, I want to be scrounging for resources, and that's exactly what you have to do now. He's got rid of those ridiculous infinite. Well, he nerfed those ridiculous infinite metal generators that ruin the game so much. Like, so you can use those now, but they're no way as good as they were. Ammunition's much more difficult to make. And like everything, water even is more difficult to find, especially on the higher difficulty settings. Basically, he's really just made the game much more interesting. And so now, when you're actually on the back foot and you're having to do proper fighting retreats, this is what I want from a war game. This is like a real war game, or a real 4X game, where you're not just watching this kind of power curve go up, and then you do your research, and then you use diplomacy to cheese the AI long enough to be able to attack them all, all that boring crap. You can't do that so much in Shadow Empire anymore. Now, if you start looting, you can't win all the time, especially on the hard difficulty settings. So there will be times when your economy fails, you've got to fall back, you've got to fight hard to be able to to survive. And you have to put, you're not always on the attacking foot. And that is what makes this game great. As like, war games have to have preset scenarios, where like you're Russia in Barbarossa and you've got to fall back, and you're going to lose at first, but then you'll have military manufacturing so that you can actually push back against the Germans later. This does this automatically now. This does this organically now. Shadow Empire has become a real organic war simulator. A real 4X game, a real Empire simulator with all the ups and downs that it has. And I was talking to Vic about this, and Vic was saying, he goes, I actually really like it when I'm fighting on the back foot as well. So I think by encouraging that kind of gameplay, because look, I'm sick of just playing a 4X game and then winning every time. Yeah, that's just boring. If you know the game, you've got the game mechanics, you've got the optimization puzzle solved to the point where you can win every time. What's the point? I want this game to be hard, right? I want it to be difficult, and I would much rather play a game that I'm losing and yet it's fun. Yeah, where I'm having to use all the game mechanics just to fight for survival. That's way more. If I lose this game, it'll still be the best game of Shadow Empire I've ever played, because it was fun all the way through. It's not just like this boring ruffle stomp. Invictus says, Vaesh, hey man, how's it going, dude? Happy Christmas to you too, sir. And Invictus says, happy Christmas, my friend. Jatsy says, oh yes, you need massive amounts of ammo production. I did that the first time I played. Yeah, it's that caught my. So I'm so used. Like, people have come on who played the game more recently than me, and they'll be like, doing the backseat gaming thing. Well, you need to do this, you need to do that. I mean, the thing is now they're really useful. Like, before, it kind of, I was, okay, just, I didn't like to brag, but it's like, guys, I've been playing this game before it was released, and I've got about 2,000 hours in it. But there are people who know the game better than me still, by a long way. And recently, because I've not played recently, and there's so many new changes, I've been relying on those backseat gamers. Like, somebody came in the other day and said, you should go into your you should set your population so that it's set to never fire. Sorry, the workers. So it's a flexible hire, never fire policy. And I've never used that. I've never needed to. But if I'd have remembered that, this game would have been a lot easier, because part of the problem I've had is I've not been able to keep workers. And I've been firing workers when they've not been needed, and then they're just running away. So yeah, in that case, the backseat game has helped me. Vash is saying, being on the back foot is much more exciting experience. Is a much more exciting experience. Your decisions matter much more then. Yeah, I completely agree. And so, even if you don't win the game, it doesn't matter, because you've had just an amazing time. Victor said, I love Shadow Empire, but it's a war crime that Vic or Slytherin don't invest in art. Well, it doesn't sell enough, I don't think, to be able to hire loads of artists. Like, Vic has had artists, but so okay. By the way, full disclosure, like I talked to Vic a lot. I was kind of technically on the development team for a bit, I guess. I haven't done anything in terms of game. for the game. But Vic and I talk a lot. Like, he likes to talk ideas through with me a little. But mostly what I've done is I worked on the manual. So I did some rewriting for the manual, not a lot, and I also did some sound effects way back. So that's basically all I've done. But just so you know, just so there's no misunderstanding, there's a bit of a conflict of interest because I am, my name's on the credits twice. But yeah, as far as the art is concerned, the Vic put out multiple polls on this, like, what do you think about the art, what do you think about AI art? Like, I'm conscious that people don't, some people don't like it, but some people do, and he just wants to do the right thing. He just wants the art in the game to be good. And so I think he's got to figure out, like, what can you reasonably do as a solo developer. And so that's the decision you got to make, right? And it's like, if people are complaining about the art, but people are also complaining about AI, you got to pick one. And like, so I'll tell you my personal opinion. I don't care one bit about AI art, providing that it's good. Where I don't like AI art is when it's crap, right? So if people don't do it right and they leave obvious mistakes in it, then it's a problem to me. But I used to be a professional artist. I used to sell oil paintings. So I used to be I'm trained as a fine artist, and so I am an artist, right? And I think AI art is great. I think if any artist worth their salt will see it just as another tool, and they'll use it as part of their toolbox. Does that mean I want to see all art being AI? No, not at all. But I think if you're a fine artist, and you're bitching about AI art, you're missing a trick, because I tell you, it's already happening. And I predicted this 2 or 3 years ago, that there's going to be such a large amount of people who want real art, that if you're a real artist, you should be making shitloads of money now. And if you're not, you're an idiot. So stop bitching about AI art, right? Go and just keep making art and sell it to the people who don't like AI art, who want really good handmade art. Like, I still do a little bit of, like, well, I'm still intending to get back into my painting, because for me, how I use AI now, I would use it to jam out ideas, and then almost like a sketchbook, and then I'd be able to paint, because I use all sorts of stuff when I was fine artist. Like, I'd do collages from magazines. I would download shitloads of images. I would copy pictures off the internet, like, by hand, just like the old style artists would go into an art gallery. And so in terms of anyway, I'm not speaking for Vic. He spoke for himself enough on the AI art thing, and that's up to him. Whatever decision he makes with that is up to him. But what I will say is that I think that, like, my personal opinion is, if the art is good, I don't care how it's been made. When it comes to a video game, providing the end result is good, then that's what I'm after. I don't care. Like, I don't need to know how the sausage is made. It makes no difference to me. But when it comes, like, if I'm going to buy a painting, and I find, let's say I bought what I thought was a real oil painting, and then I kind of got close and I was like, oh, hang on, there's like no impasto or anything on this, and it's printed, it's an AI art painting. Then I'd be annoyed, because then that's deceptive, isn't it? If you deceive people and say, oh, this is a handmade thing, but actually you just used AI to generate it, then that's deceptive, and I don't agree with that. And that's the only ethical argument I think that you've got against AI art, is that you shouldn't be deceiving people. Bilko saying Shadow Empire is an outstanding game. Yeah, it is. It's the best 4X game ever made, in my opinion. Jatsy says, I like playing multiplayer with some friends. Yeah, I like multiplayer Shadow Empire too, but I don't like how long it takes to play. Sniffdog saying, I've noticed more and more recently that so many games across the board reduce the difficulty so much that it becomes really hard to even be bothered to engage with mechanics. Yes. Cheers. So, like, when I was playing Ashes, and I was saying, look, this has got simplified mechanics compared to, some games that it looks like, for example, like Supreme Commander, but it's still got the depth of the game comes from the interactions of the many pieces that you've got in play. So Supreme Commander's got, like, multiple tiers of units. It's kind of like more busy work that you got to do. Some people love that, and that's like an RPG like system. Like you level up from level 1 armory, you level up to the level 2 barracks, and so it's got that RPG progression mechanics. I don't like that stuff in these games anymore. So for me, Ashes of the Singularity, stripping that stuff out and bringing it down to the core mechanics of what makes that game fun, which is different, is positioning, unit composition, and maneuver. Yeah, those are the 3 things that make an RTS game really good, in my opinion. And in old games, you had to micro that stuff too much. Whereas in in Ashes 2, they've made it so that you don't have to micro that stuff as much. There's still you still have to manually refresh stuff if you want, but you can like automate certain things. But it leaves the player free to focus on, that fine tuning of your positioning, your maneuver, and that kind of thing, and the unit composition. And that is what makes a deep game. Mechanics don't make deep games. Like Shadow Empire is a deep game, and part of the reason that the Shadow Empire is a deep game is that it covers a lot of stuff. But it's not the depth of Shadow Empire doesn't come just from the fact that it's got a lot of mechanics. This is a rare game that is deep because it's got a lot of mechanics. But what's good about Shadow Empire is every part of this game is deep. Like if you stripped away if you just automated the buildings, for example, let's just say that you just had this bunch of preset buildings, you never had to do anything with them. All you had is the military game. The game would still be deep because the game is great. Like the way that the military simulation works is really, really good. If you automated all of the combat, let's say that all combat was automated, the game would still be really good because these systems are dense enough and they're interesting enough that a player can get lost in enjoying figuring them out, right? And so, if the logistics was completely automated, the rest of the game would still be good. Do you see what I mean? Every single component of Shadow Empire, pretty much, is like rock solid, and that's why it's a deep game. But this is a rare game. It's really rare to make a game with a lot of mechanics deep, because usually games with a lot of mechanics usually just over complex. So yeah, I agree. I think that modern games tend to just throw mechanics at stuff, thinking that is a replacement for depth. And what they're missing is that the core game's got to be really solid at the start. If your core game isn't solid at the start, it's going to suck. Doesn't matter how many. This is what the problem I've got with. Actually, I was going to say Age of Wonders 4. I think Age of Wonders 4 is got some. It's a good game, but it's not to my taste. It's got some issues with the core way that it's built that I don't like. But one thing I'll say about Triumph is, they've made a decent game around that structure that I don't like. Do you know what I mean? Like the last time I played Age of Wonders 4, I bought the new DLC, the vampire one, and I was quite impressed with what I saw. I was like, this is pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? They're at, at least within the structure that they've got. I don't like the pacing of it, and I find that I don't like the pacing of Age of Wonders 4 at all. I think it's a really badly paced game, actually, for me at least. But everyone else loves it, so But at least within within that structure, they've made some really cool stuff. The DLCs have been better and better every time as well. Okay, Stiff Dog. So I totally agree that it'd be great, even if you lose this Shadow Empire game. It's been a great series. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Ido, do you have a plan to turn this game around? Yes, I do. Now that we've got workers that are going to be staying in my buildings, we need to be focusing heavily on population. Look, people are coming back to Minos. This is what I've noticed. So we're going to be bringing people back in, holding the line in this desert. I've also got we're at peace now, by the way. So I managed to get peace in the last episode with everybody, which is oh, hang on, these guys maybe not. Yeah, I'm at war with these guys with Sansaria, but I don't care about them. They're not scary, at least at the moment. So what I can do is I can actually take these guys off this border now and push back against Sansaria. They're losing to Dunkelstart as well. So Dunkelstart's kind of like, they're an ally, but they're going to be a real big threat. Look, really, we're sandwiched between these two guys here. And so my plan is to become basically North Korea. I'm gonna fortify my border, and then I'm gonna go for nuclear weapons. I think that's basically the way that I'm gonna have to win this. I'm going to try to race at the tech tree. I'm so far behind though, so I don't know. I don't know if I can win it, but I'm going to try. Vash is saying, I think it can be okay if you don't want to engage with a particular mechanic because the faction sucks with it. If you should be engaging with the mechanic, you should definitely feel the impact. If not, you found something to balance better. Depends whether it's a core mechanic or not. I think if your game's built so that factions just don't have a core mechanic or something, that's boring to me. I call that lazy asymmetry. One McClack is saying, hello sir, playing Shadow Empire is more interesting when it's a nerve-wracking combat with nearby cities for like 70 turns than when it's 50 turns of economy and research followed by just driving over the enemy. Yeah, absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And like that's why I've really enjoyed this game. It just hasn't been like that. That was a little bit like what my Life on Seth play for Explorminate was like. 70 hours of building up economy and and kind of minus easy wars basically. One McClack says, I've seen this game months ago and even commented on it. The backseat gamers sometimes notice things and offer. Yes, they do, absolutely. You've been one of them. I don't mean to call you a backseat gamer. Sorry, it sounds like a rude thing to say. I really appreciate people giving me comments, even if it's I like 80% of them are just stuff I already know. But 20% of them are the ones that save my game. Do you know what I mean? And also, 100% of them are useful for other people reading the comments. And at least for the first sort of 10, 20 episodes, I get people watching who are trying to learn how to play the game. Not most people are done after 5 or 6 episodes, but I think there are a few people who follow me because they're interested in seeing how an old timer plays. Weeksow says, problem is they train that AI by effectively stealing off all the existing knowledge since they are profiting from it later. It's not really how it works. I don't really want to talk too much about the AI art thing because it's one of these things that's very divisive, and so I don't want to piss anybody off. If you've got strong feelings on AI art, that's fine. I understand where you're coming from. Like I was an artist who used to, my sole income was selling paintings, right? So I know what it would be like. If that was me now, I would feel fear if I hadn't got the brains to use it myself, right? Like if you're a classic artist, I understand why there's fear because you feel like your job is under threat. I don't care. I don't think artists have got anything to worry about. I'm sorry. If you're like a low effort porn artist on DeviantArt who sells Patreon, porn subscriptions to people, yeah, you're in trouble. Sorry, because AI does that shit way better than you. But if you're a real artist, and sorry, that's mean as well. I don't mean to be being mean. Like everybody has a right to be able to make an income, but in that case, you should be using it. Yeah, using it as part of your workflow doesn't mean you have to reduce the quality of what you're doing, but everybody should be using AI to speed up workflow. Doesn't mean that you should be using it as your final as your final output. By the way, I use AI art all the time, and I'm telling you, it's not as easy as people think it is. Go to any games developer who is using AI to make artwork, and they'll tell you how difficult it is to actually get stuff out. It's not that easy. It's not just putting a prompt into Midjourney. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, but if you're a fine artist, you should be cashing in now. You should be cashing out, sorry. Like you should be making bank. If you're a fine artist and you're not making bank right now, you've failed. Because people are screaming out for real artwork, man. They're screaming out for it. If you're a good artist and you've spent years developing your craft, you got nothing to worry about. I got a mate, yeah, he does this thing on Facebook called Jim Will Paint It. So he does he's a mate of mine. My band played at his wedding. I don't speak to James that much now, but he's a great guy, yeah. And he does this. He's got this gig where he uses Microsoft Paint, and he gets people to say he's like the original AI, right? People will be like, I want you to do a picture of Freddie Mercury from Queen fighting a bear or something, and he'd be like, all right, and he'd go into Microsoft Paint and he'd draw it painstakingly by hand, and he's such a great artist. And he was like, when it first came, when this for AI first, the AI art thing first kind of hit, he was really annoyed by it, and he's given me, I think, the best argument against AI art that I've ever heard, because I was like, don't worry, mate, you're a great artist, you're not going to worry, like people are going to want real stuff, and he's doing fine. Do you know what I mean? I was right. he's not out of business, he's still doing great. he's still in business, and so like he's the original guy. You send him a prompt, he does the art, right? So he's got that to like and he doesn't like AI art. But he gave me a great argument, and the argument was, I don't like AI art because it actually it's made me feel like art itself has been devalued, and I was like, well, that's a subjective thing, so it's really hard to argue against. But actually, that resonates with me somehow, and I think that is a strong argument. As far as the ethics of the way that AI is, like the models are created, that it just mimics how humans work. When you, as a real artist, right, you're walking around in this, you're looking at trees, you're taking inspiration from nature, you'll go to an art gallery and you'll see pictures. You're not consciously trying to copy them, but you'll, when you go home and you have your inspiration, obviously you're going to be inspired by everything you've ever seen, but you're not copying anything. But there's Mona Lisa's, there's a Mona Lisa in there, right? There's Picasso in there too. If you've ever seen a Picasso, if you've ever seen a Monet, you've got some Monet in there. That's all AI is doing. It's exactly the same. So there's no ethical argument against AI in that respect. It doesn't hold water. It just works exactly how humans do it. The only way that you could possibly be unethical with AI is if you built a model that only had one training thing so that it copies something directly. And then that's your fault, because you've asked it to do something that's wrong and illegal, or or unethical, whatever. So humans are unethical with it, but the AI isn't. It's not the tool that's the problem. It's not stealing. I don't agree it's stealing. It can't do that. You have to make it do that in order for it to be, in order for it to be theft. You have to do it. You have to deliberately steal, because otherwise it doesn't work like that. It uses those models as an inspiration, just like human beings do. Invictus is saying it's 100% up to Vic what to do with art, of course, and it's much more cost effective. Yeah, I'm not going to speak for Vic, man. Like he's already put out quite a lot of stuff about this, and he's asked. He does take what you say seriously, and he does care about people who who are complaining about the art like a lot. He's really serious about wanting to. He's got to do the right thing though for the game. So I don't know what he's going to decide. Well, I do know what he's decided to do, because I do talk to him. But when he's ready to reveal what he's doing, he will do. Doomersome saying long-term a dual map mode would be nice. A balanced, so to speak, small map preset scenarios would be nice too. Do you mean for Shadow Empire, Doomersome? I assume so. Yeah, I think yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think I think there should be a map editor. I think the map editor should be expanded. I think Vic's really proud of the procedurally generated planet generator he's created. It is unique. There's nothing else like it. So I can imagine if he is a bit reluctant to to change that, that's probably why. But it does make the game, it's not perfect for multiplayer. I understand that. Invictus said, but the way systems, game AI and UI give insight into the dev's vision for the game, I'm missing that personal vision. I want to see how this world would look inside the artist's imagination. Okay, that's a really interesting point. I think that's a really interesting point. And that is a strong argument against using AI art. If you're like, okay, I want this game to be, the vision of an artist. Yeah, I get that. I can get that. I think that's a strong argument. One McClark says, much of the depth of Shadow Empire is optional. For example, you can usually get away with some mismanagement of leaders and stratagems. Economy, bureaucracy and military are what matters. Yes, until you start having problems, and then you really need to know everything, I'd say. Invictus is saying AI art can look good, but I want to see inside the artist's head. I want to see how he creates a new world, because at that point that world he creates is just as real as this one. Yeah, again, I think that's a great argument, man. I agree. I agree with that. He says, but it's an autumn game anyways. Okay. Invictus is saying Larian Studio is using AI just how you said you're using. Yeah, I saw some controversy. I'll be honest with you, right? Like I'm kind of over the AI argument now. I just can't be like. I think that like when I hear nuanced takes like you've just given me, I'm interested in it. What I'm done with is the cultists, yeah, on both sides. So you got the anti-AI people, and then you've got the pro-AI people, and they don't want to talk to each other. They don't want to have a nuanced debate about it. They're just like it's like the politics thing. Like nobody. If you're if you're stuck in your opinion, yeah, and you won't ever change, I'm not interested in talking to you. Yeah, just a waste of my fucking time. And I can be like that as well. I've been pig-headed about stuff, and I think we get like that, especially when we think that we're right. Yeah, I think if you think that you're right about something, think again. Because everybody, you should always be willing to go into a conversation, thinking that the person you're talking to might have something to teach you. I think it was Jordan Peterson who said that, but I really agree with that. I think that was one thing that Jordan Peterson said that I think was really quite profound. You should always go into a conversation expecting to learn something, because I think if you do that, it sets you up, much better. And for example, okay, Victor, let's say we were talking about AI art, right? And I immediately came in with like, I don't think it's a problem, which I can do a little bit sometimes. You probably wouldn't have then offered up that more that enlightening point that you made about wanting to see an artist's vision. So I think people can shortcut, the pursuit of truth by sort of injecting their own sort of obstinacy in. And I think the AI art debate has become very much like the left-right politics thing now, where you got one camp and you got the other camp, and they don't talk. And they're just talking across each other, or shouting and belittling one another, and I don't like that. I'm not interested in it. And I saw that a lot from the anti-AI art originally. I don't see it so much from the pro-AI people, because I think the pro-AI people, they have to be a little bit more nuanced, because it is a nuanced thing. I think it's, but I also I get it. I understand why people are upset with it. Bill Coe saying logistics is still head-wrecking for me in Shadow Empire, but I know it will click eventually. I got news for you, Sunshine. Take it from a guy who's been playing this game for like thousands of hours, it must be 2,000 hours at least. I don't understand how the main logistics system works in Shadow Empire. Not now that there's this new, well, I call it new, but now you got all this stuff, the pull stuff as well. Like pull and the myriad interactions between pull and push are complex, and I still cannot figure it out. I've had Vic help me. Like Vic's bailed me out of a few situations where I'm like, I do not understand why my logistics are collapsing, and he's like, okay, deactivate this, add this, and I'm like, okay, and he was like, look, you kind of want to either use the pull system or you turn pull off. He said using them both together is, I think they shouldn't interfere with each other, but they do. But it's not just that. I'm sure there's bugs in it somewhere. Because I've sat there, with the logistics, and I've followed it, from the source, and I've literally done the calculations and been like, okay, I still can't understand why that's not working. And I'm not stupid. I did a computer science degree, man. Well, half of one. At a good university, so I'm not dumb. I know, I understand. I can do mathematics if I want to, although I fucking hate it now. But I can. I'm not stupid, and I can't figure it out. I don't think. I think anybody who says they understand, apart from Vic, and there's a little bit of me that suspects that even Vic doesn't understand it fully. But I think that there's so many interactions. This system is so complex now that I think I like it like that. I'll tell you why. Because real life logistics isn't easy, yeah? And so I think that the fact that it is complex and difficult is realistic. The only time it really bugs me is when this sort of thing happens. It's like, I've got a logistics source here, I've got a logistics source here, and I understand about branching penalties and all that kind of stuff. But why is that broken? And it's like, I just can't figure that out. It just happened to me occasionally. So yeah, don't ever think you understood logistics, because if you say you do, I'm going to be like, all right, prove it. One McClack says, I'm following a game developer, McMusty, and he uses AI as placeholders, but wants human art for the final game. He hired a very good artist and is a good artist himself. Yeah, I think look, everybody should just use it how they want to use it. Just be aware that if you use it as your final... if you use crap AI art, you've just gone in Mid-Journey and just got it to do a basic picture, nobody's going to like that. I won't like it. I can tell when art's had effort put in, whether it's AI or not. I use Stable Diffusion, and Stable Diffusion is you have to learn it. It's like Photoshop. It's a lot of tools, and you have to learn it. And so I'm way more impressed with people who can do stuff with manually than people who just put it into ChatGPT or Grok. Grok's got a really good video maker if you just like basic stuff, but and it can do it very quickly. but it's, you know, it's low effort, isn't it? And you can tell. Chris is saying, I ordered a paper copy of the manual for Dominion 6. Damn, dude, it's as thick as a Bible. I know, yes. I've got a copy. Ilwinter very kindly sent me a copy of the... Like, cause I was one of the 3 people or 4 people that they gave me early access before it came out. I was honoured, man. Ilwinter, like, picked me out of everybody. You know, it was I think it was me, Lucid, and Daz Tactic. I think that was it. And I was really grateful, and they sent me a printed manual as well. I've got it on my, you can't see it behind my green screen, but I've got a printed manual that they sent me, and it was, I just was so touched. Like, I was like, you didn't have to send me a printed manual as well. I just thought it was really sweet. Ilwinter are great guys, man. Really, really great guys. McClack says, for logistics, just overbuild it by some margin. Connect the cities with the rail network, expand the truck stations, and it's usually fine if a bit wasteful. Yeah, I think where I went wrong in this game was I was trying to optimize it before I was ready. Look, this is why I've got like truck stations here, look, that are, you know, trying to feed in, because you get this branching penalty. So if you put a truck station on a road, when you hit it, you lose part of your logistics, right? So I thought, okay, well, maybe we have a branching, you know, one here that sends in. This does work up to a point. So this is better than having it on here, but how much better, I don't know. And I really cannot be bothered to do the mathematics to figure it out. So this was an experiment that I think, I don't know. It used to be I did a video on Shadow Empire years ago when it first came out, and, like, you know, top 10 tips for Shadow Empire, and one of them was build more truck stations. If your logistics is bad, build more truck stations. But then he added the branching penalty stuff. So at that point, that you know, information was out of date, because you can't just keep building truck stations anymore. It doesn't work like that. After a while, you got to come unstuck. Doomerson saying, yeah, like, even generating scenarios within the existing planet gen, for instance 1 versus 3 King of the Hill with tech start level 7, level 4 assets randomly generated for more jump into the game vibes. Yeah, I think that would be good. I think for multiplayer, I think that if you're playing multiplayer, you really should play on you should play on asymmetric maps, because otherwise the game becomes an optimization puzzle. And you still got RNG anyway, but I think, look, if you're going to play a game like this, especially when you've got organic diplomacy, play on an organic map as well. Stop bitching. Like, but yeah, I mean, multiplayer people are different breed. They like, you know, they know what they like. Invictus, you're as wise as you are kind, good sir. I'm not wise. I just think that, you know, some people would think I'm just a horrible fence sitter. No, I got opinions. I'm pro AI art, providing that it's done right. I don't think people should be dismissing it and saying it's the root of all evil. You know, I hate the word slop. It's just become this word that everybody uses. I'm going to tell you, like, that's one thing I don't like. There was slop in the gaming industry way before AI. Yeah, like, pretty much 90% of cell phone stuff is slop. Like, I'd say about 20 or 30% of stuff on Steam is slop. Low effort crap that was made to make a quick buck, and it's just padding out the you know, it's just, that's slop. Slop came about way before AI, and AI is not the worst stuff for slop. You know, it's like, seriously, how many crap Unity games are there? Like, once Unity became a thing, and like every Tom, Dick and Harry could start making a game without any real understanding of how programming worked, that made a lot of slop. Yeah, there's loads of crap. So I don't think that AI, it's just the next generation of slop. It's like slop 2.0, but slop's been around forever. Chris is saying, that's why I'm a centrist politically. Both the left and the right hate me for that. Yeah, I don't want to talk about politics too much. Well, you know, like, I've been on both. I've been on both sides. I've been really into the left wing stuff for a long time when I was younger. I've been more into the right wing stuff more recently, and now I'm sort of drifting back towards the center again, because what I don't like is mind control, and I really didn't like the woke stuff. I'll admit that I did not like woke. It really pissed me off. I thought it was really damaging. But I'm seeing exactly the same thing on the right now. There's an element of the right wing that are doing exactly the same thing. They're censorious. They seem to hate women. You know, they're anti-sexy. And, like, if you attack my bimbos, yeah, I'm not down with it. If you like on the left, I hated it, the prudishness on the left, and now we get prudishness on the right. I've got all the respect in the world for Christians, but I hate fake Christians, and there's a lot of fake Christians at the moment, like what I would call the performative Christians on the right. Like they are becoming like just as censorious as the SJWs were. So I hate them both. They can both fuck off. Like I want to be left alone to game. I don't want politics to be injected into gaming. Like I understand that politics is a big thing at the moment. It's really important, but I don't want to think about it when I'm gaming. I just don't want to think about it. Like I have to think about it in the rest of my life, or a lot. And I don't think that. I think it needs to be left out of art, because art is the one thing that transcends politics, right? Like you can read in left-wing messages from a piece of art, and you can read in right-wing messages from a piece of art, and that's the beauty of great art. It's a channel for you to work out your complexes, right? You can kind of like meditate on art, or you can think about art and you feel how it feels, and it will bring out aspects of you that need to be integrated properly. And if you treat life like that rather than like this tribalistic left-right shit, you're going to be streets ahead of anybody else. Like, it's sure, don't give up on your beliefs. If you believe strongly in left-wing stuff or very strongly in right-wing stuff, that's fine, but just be aware that it's about you. You're the important thing, not the politics. Is just like, that's just some artificial crap that's been enforced on us by the elite. One McClark, in Dominion 6, the first 100 pages are a good read, but the 300 pages after that are just reference tables. The amount of stuff in D6 is bewildering. Yeah, I agree with that. Personally, I'd rather look at a goodish AI art than basically crayon drawings made with a pen and paper filled bucket tools. Yeah, I agree. It's the quality, isn't it? I think. Look, we're in a formative thing with AI art at the moment, and I think that once people have settled down to the idea and they've realised that it can be used tastefully, and it's not really, it's not stealing. I don't buy the stealing argument, but I think that as long as you're not copying people, don't use AI art and go, I want you to copy this, or I want you to make a picture of my ex-girlfriend so I can shame her on the internet. Yeah, that's wrong. Don't do that shit. But if you're using AI art like respectfully and tastefully, I use it for my thumbnails because I don't have time to make real thumbnails, so I don't care. I'll use AI to make my thumbnails. I have to do that shit as part of YouTube. It's not something I enjoy. It's like I just do it, and so AI is great for me. It saves me, if I can spend 10 minutes like doing an AI art thumbnail, that saves me an hour or maybe 2-3 hours making one, or just having like some basic text. That's a time saver for me, so I'm not going to go back on that. Procake Man says, it's trite to say, but we can't uninvent this technology. My problem is AI is basically the conglomeration of everything humanity has ever recorded, but it hasn't had its own personal experiences. So in a way, the AI is everyone and no one at the same time. More of a problem when it gets smarter and more independent, but I'm unsure about it. I agree. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like the database, isn't it? But you still need the human. This is why, if people are doing unethical stuff with the AI, they have to. The unethical side comes from the human being. Like if you just got like let's say you're like an artist online, you made a model that trained, you trained a model just on their art. I think that's unethical, because it's still making new stuff, so it's still not that bad. But yeah, you kind of. I think there's a grey area where it's like, obviously if you just copy something and sell that as your own, that's totally, it's right that we criminalize that. And I think that AI art is, if you deliberately make the models so that it's trying to make something that looks like someone else, if there's also the intent to deceive people, then it should be illegal. Okay, false dichotomies, basic logical fallacies, says Doomerson. Yeah, probably. Do you like the AI art in Galciv 4? The only AI art in Galciv 4 is the Alien GPT stuff, but I can't remember whether that art was made by real people. So Stardock, Stardock always use their own models for all artwork. So they train their models just on their own in-house artists' library. Okay. because they anticipated this stuff a long time ago and realized that, you know, there could be a potential copyright issue, so they don't use any other they don't use Midjourney and stuff like that, I don't think. But I'm not really allowed to talk about what Stardock do because, you know, I'm an NDA'd, but Brad's talked about this in public. BattleMode, did you hear about some pre-made retro PC with 10,000 games in it pre-installed? No, I didn't. That's interesting. Oh, sorry. Doomson saying for your thumbnails. Okay. Invictus said that thing would be cool to get. I love retro games also. Yeah, I've got this thing called a Mr. FPGA. I wonder if I can I get this into the shot? I don't think I can easily. Now I've got sitting next to me, I've got this console called the Heber Multisystem 2. It's a Mr. FPGA based thing. I've talked about it on my channel. If you want to hear me talk about it, I did a video on Zero Wing recently, well, a few months ago. So if you go and check out the video on Zero Wing, I talk about the Mr. But it's my favourite thing I've ever made. It's my favourite thing I've ever bought. It was a little pricey, about £300, £350 probably, with all the stuff that I needed for it. But it plays basically any console or computer game from about 1975 up until about 2000. I think the last system, the most powerful systems that it can emulate are PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, and Dreamcast. So it's very, very cool. And I love it. It's my favourite thing. Oh, Pro Cake Man's saying, oh, did you see that ADOM will be getting updates again? No, I didn't. Excuse me, I got a bit of an itchy nose, guys. No, I didn't see that ADOM's getting updates. I love that game. It's one of my favourite games. Michael Cook saying, graphic designers are thin on the edge of the wedge for AI taking jobs, and nobody expected that 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, they've already been through this, though. Like, I was talking about this with Daz and a few others. Daz Tactic was telling me he was there for when I don't think he'll mind me telling this story. So Daz was there when CAD came in, and so when CAD came in, or computer aided design in the 80s, architects and graphic designers and all the, you know, people that CAD went on to, you know, to enhance, let's say, you had two groups of people. You had the people who embraced it and got on with it, and you had the people who rejected it and stayed as, you know, draftsmen. And all the draftsmen were out of business within about 5 years. So what are you going to do? You either sink or you swim. And I think that, you know, but that's not the same with fine art. Fine artists do not need to use AI, in my opinion. The only thing that you need to use AI for is exploit the fact that there are now loads of people who want real art. Like I say, I'll say it again. If you're a real artist, you know, I mean fine artist. If you're a fine artist, like you make paintings or you make sculptures or you make real tangible stuff, right? And you are bitching about AI art replacing you, you are an idiot and you're missing a trick. Graphic designers, though, yeah, you're on the thin end of the wedge. Not as much as programmers, though. It's programmers that are going to be in big trouble. I trained as a programmer. I did a computer science degree. Started a computer science degree, and I'm a programmer. I can program reasonably well. I'm pretty good at coding, but I'm glad that I didn't make that my only job. Like, I'm so glad, because AI cannot do what I do at the moment. At least it's not possible to replace me with AI. It won't be for years either, because I do too many things that AI cannot do. But if I was just a programmer, yeah, I think you've got to be learning the AI tools now and making yourself super. You've got to make yourself incredibly attractive to software developers, and the way that you do that is you've got to be using AI tools now. If you're not, you're going to get left behind. But if you are a programmer who knows the AI tools well, and you can do, you know, low level stuff, like, you know, you understand how, you know, you can go in and do, you know, assembly language stuff, or you can learn something archaic now, like a little archaic like C. You're going to be quids in, man. Again, you should be making shitloads of money. The Annihilator says, politics is just a divide, while the true focus of mankind should be coming together and taking our place amongst the stars. Yes, well said. Absolutely. Just think, I want you to think about the symbolism of the Christmas tree. Think about the symbolism of the Christmas tree with the star at the top. and you got the tinsel representing the paths, and you got the baubles as the different stations. If you understand what I'm talking about, that's what we need to be doing. And that by the way, that symbol is irrespective of whatever religion you're into. It fits with every religion. All the mainstream religions are all based on that one symbol. And that's that's not to undermine anybody's religion. It fits within all of them, and it doesn't undermine any of them. It's the foundation. So if you think that, if you understand that we're all moving upwards and we're all aiming for the stars, right? We're all aiming for that top star. Then yeah, everything, like the politics is just, it's there to divide us. It's just there to divide us. I don't agree with a lot of what David Icke says, particularly when he talks about the occult and stuff, which he doesn't know what he's talking about. But where David Icke is dead right, in my opinion, is that he knows that he understands the power structure that the elite have got in order to keep us fighting and trapped in this this kind of like dangerous system we're in. He gets that bit right. Yeah, they're talking about ADOM, and ADOM is getting updates. I didn't know that. Let's have a look at that, because I don't want to talk about politics too much, man. Because you have to be careful talking about politics. You always run the risk of pissing somebody off, and I don't really care what people think about me. But I don't want to, like, I want you guys to feel like, you come here for gaming, not like hearing an old man rant about stuff. Yeah, let's look at ADOM. It's been a while since I played that. Oh, okay. Right, I'm going to answer answer the questions quickly, or the comments quickly, and then we'll read this. One McCluck saying, in biology, there's something called the Cambrian explosion. Basically, many new and weird animals evolved to fill a void, and most of them died afterwards. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I don't know much about biology or evolutionary biology. And the Annihilator says, AI art is just art without soul. It's completely lifeless. Yeah, you need a human. The human's got to be there. I mean, AI art making art to itself, it's just spitting out patterns. Invictus says, I tried taking DLL files from early beta versions, putting them in the last one, but it didn't work. Speaking about ADOM. One McClack says, there is a similar thing with technology. Once something new becomes available, steam, pneumatics, atom, computers, aeroplanes, AI, people experiment with applying it to everything. Then eventually things settle down, the technology stays, and its weird applications die off. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's how it's going to be. AI's got I think what's scary about AI for people is that I mean, the first time I used like ChatGPT, it blew my socks off with what it could do. I was amazed. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I can't believe how good this technology is. And it's not until you work with it for ages that you realise, oh God, this is really flawed. But I mean, at least on the surface, it's great, right? I think it will, now, give it another 5 years or so, and we're going to have some more, I mean, like, if you think that the video stuff now is good, it's going to be, give it 5-10 years and it's probably going to be making video games on the fly. That's going to be crazy. But I think it will hit. We're going to hit a bubble. Like, the bubble's going to burst at some point. And yeah, I think that then we'll start focusing on what it's really useful for. Christopher says, as you probably guessed from my avatar, I'm a Buddhist, and it's one of the more versatile religious systems. Yeah, I spent some time following Buddhist stuff when I was younger, and it was what got me into spirituality. And I think I think it's for me, it was a good first start. But I think if you follow that path, it's great. Yeah, I don't have much more to say on that. I think Buddhism is amazing, and if you are into it and you follow it, and it works for you, then it's great. I think Christopher Lee said he was part of the occult. Did he? I remember I saw a thing about Christopher Lee saying that somebody asked him, what do you think about the occult? And he was like, be careful, stay away, because your soul is at stake. I think he was very much a Christian, but I'm not sure about that. You have to remember that within every religion, whether it's Christianity, whether it's the Rosicrucians who are in Christianity, or whether it's the Sufis who are in Islam, or the Kabbalists, who are, or the rabbis at the center of Judaism, and some of the other major religions. There's like esoteric parts of Buddhism as well, like Tibetan Buddhism. There's always like an inner group, like an esoteric occult group. That's all the occult is. It doesn't mean demon worship or Satanism. That's just some bollocks made to scare people. There's always like initiatory things that that are more about internal development rather than external dogmatic teaching. And you need both. You need some dogmatic teaching, and then you need some internal reflection. One McClack said, I think you strike a good balance between a silent playthrough and talking all the time. I like it when Let's Players comment on the game some of the time and rarely about something in real life. Okay, yeah, sorry. So I'm just sort of talking to people today, mate. But like, I try not to talk too much about like non-gaming stuff when I'm doing my Let's Plays and stuff. I will occasionally. Just, I think sometimes it's cool to have a bit of an anecdote, but I recognise that when people are watching a gaming video, they usually want to talk about games. Today, though, I'm just hanging out with you guys, man. ProCakeman says, I do think AI should be a public asset. Since it's trained on everybody, it should belong to everyone. And if it takes everyone's jobs soon, we need it in law. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, look, it's a crazy tool, and like it's like the sword. Think about the sword. The sword is a tool. It can be used for good and it can be used for evil, and it's the same with AI. It's when people use it with carelessly. Excuse me, guys. I need to go and blow my nose because I'm realizing I'm kind of going. One sec. Okay. One McClack saying, Cooks like recruiting famous people for the credibility boost. Yeah, they absolutely do. Christopher Lee fell to the dark side and became a Sith. Yeah, he did. He fell to the dark side and he was in a bad movie. I feel really sorry for Christopher Lee. If you ever see him talk about how disappointed he was that Peter Jackson had to cut out his scenes, Saruman scenes from one of the Lord of the Rings films, he was so gutted about that. Okay. Louis Bunnock is saying, I've become quite open to quite open-minded to AI overlords. They can't possibly do worse than humans had. I don't know. Careful what you wish for, man. Okay, right. Let's have a look at this ADOM thing. So, by the way, I like Thomas Biskup. I really like Thomas Biskup as a developer. I think he's kind of how I feel when I do games dev. Like, he's very much like, this is my game. And no, you cannot mod it. Okay, so it's been a long time since I last posted something here. Actually, far too long. Time to slowly change that. ADOM has entered its 8th age. You can hear about the first 4 ages here. Okay. The 5th age was ADOM on Steam. The 6th age, the time of Ultimate ADOM. And the 7th age, the void that followed that dismal failure. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. He tried to do something new with Ultimate ADOM, but I didn't even buy it. I looked at it and I was like, this is not what I want from a roguelike. But, at least he tried something new. All rights to ADOM, but not Ultimate ADOM, have recently reverted to me, Thomas Biskup, the original creator of ADOM. That also means that I once again feel motivated to maintain the game more actively and to begin a new development effort. Yes! That's what I like to hear. I intend to release a new version of ADOM in late 2026 or sometime in 2027, more likely the latter. While this may not sound overly exciting, it does mean that I will try to breathe fresh life and many new experiences into the game. Therefore, now is a good time to post ideas, wishes, and feature requests. Okay, my throat's starting to go, guys, so I'm probably going to end my stream shortly, but I'm just going to read a bit of this. Okay, so he's asking for people, to say what they want. The reason for my long silence has been manifold, one of them being the failure to bring Ultimate ADOM to success. He was stressed at work. Oh, he's retired. Okay, so he's built a company and retired. And he's not had time to work on ADOM. To address the elephant in the room, for the foreseeable future, there will be no further development of Ultimate Adon. We tried hard to make it a great game, invested a lot of personal money, and failed to turn it into what we had hoped for. Okay, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So he's just apologising for that. I don't think he needs to apologise for that. He tried his best. Yeah, he says that he thinks that if I had a better name, if they didn't name it Adom, it might have done better. That's maybe true. Okay. All right, so basically he's just saying that, yeah, he's going to be making a new version of Adom. He's just asking for people to, to chip in. All right, that's interesting, that is. I'll give him a thumbs up for that. Okay, so Adom getting updates really is a Christmas, eh? Oh, heh. Can anyone tell how you managed to remove stutter from the first Adom? Because I can't. Stutter. I don't know. Have you got the Steam version? The Steam version is pretty nice because it's got like loads of cool stuff in it. Lemonhead says, "Good luck with AI digging out a collapsed pipe to run new fiber." Yeah, exactly. AI seems good, but yeah. Okay, the Annihilator saying, Battle Mode. Ever played Master of Orion 2 back in the day? I didn't play it back in the day, no, but I played it recently and I like it. I don't like it as much as Master of Orion 1, and I find it's the colony management I don't like in Master of Orion 2, but I don't hate it. I think it's okay. I think it deserves all the accolades it gets. I think it's a very, very it kind of took what Master of Orion 1 did and tried to make it more immersive, I think. So give you more stuff to do, to give you heroes and that kind of stuff. I don't like it as much as a game. I don't think it's as tight a game as Master of Orion 1, but what it does do is really good. And I think with some of the mods, or the updates that people have made for it that kind of fix some of the issues, I think it's a really good game. Like Master of Orion 2 is an A tier game for me, whereas Master of Orion 1 is an S tier. But I won't argue with people if they say that Master of Orion 2 is better. I think it's personal preference. I think there's a strong argument though that Master of Orion 1 is a tighter game. Yeah, Chris is saying I play it now, especially with the 1.50 mod update. And our latest saying same. Team Games 19. Have you played Emperor of the Fading Suns again recently? Yes, I'm playing it all the time because I'm playing a multiplayer game that I'm recording. The problem with that is it's slow. That sometimes it's my fault it's slow. Then we had one of our, we've been playing for a year now, and or nearly a year. I think we started in February, but we were only about 25 turns in, 26 turns, something like that. So, but it's already been crazy. Like, it's the best multiplayer game I've ever played. People are so devious and conniving in diplomacy, and it really like in Dominions, it's like if you screw someone over in Dominions, it kind of ruins your reputation, and you can only do that at the end of the game, really. And people still get salty at you. Emperor of the Fading Suns is a game about that. It's like Solium Infernum. It's like it's all about working together, but at the same time trying to come out on top. Even though you're working together, and any game like that, it is a zero-sum game, but only at the end, because you have to work together at certain points, otherwise you can all lose. If you try and screw each other over too hard, you can all lose, and that's why Emperor of the Fading Suns is one of the best design games ever. Invictus said, Battle Mode, have you tried Cogmind? Yes, I have it installed here. I like Cogmind a lot. I think this is a really good game. I think Josh G, the developer of Cogmind, is very, very intelligent. He's a good guy as well. From what I've never spoke to him personally. At least not. I've spoke to him online, but never I've never interviewed him or anything. But just from seeing his videos and talking and seeing how he interacts with people, he's just really, a really good guy. One McClack says Master of Orion 2 was better. Master of Orion 1 was good and fast, but Master of Orion 3 was just an imperial bureaucracy simulator. Yeah, I've not really played Master of Orion 3. The Annihilator. I personally like Ender Space 2 better. Oh, I don't like that game. So Team Games 19 was saying, I wish it wasn't sent by email. I would definitely play Emperor of the Fading Suns more if it was real-time multiplayer. Real-time? Oh, I see what you mean. Do you mean like as in, you know... so you... Yeah, I don't think I could play like that at all. I think playing by email is the only way that I could play that game. This is Cogmind, look. So... where's my character again? Small laser. Okay. It's been a while since I played this. I want wheels, don't I? Yeah. There's a laser, I think. Okay. Oh. Warning. No, that's alright. Okay. Probably want more matter. Have you guys played this? Cogman is a really good game, man. One McClack says, Fading Suns is pretty interesting setting, but the gameplay is just slow, especially if you do an economic build-up. Yeah, I made the mistake of thinking that you had to... Oh, where am I? Ah, you're not shooting the bolts out of us. Friends, carry on. Wait. Okay, that's interesting. There's some story stuff in Cogmine that I've not seen. Let's go and grab that... what we got here? Structural scanner. Okay. Yeah, okay, so in Emperor of the Fading Suns, playing it economically and trying to play it like a normal 4X is a bit of a trap. Like, you don't need to... Like, I made that mistake the first time I won the game. I played as Decardos, and I spent, like, hours, like 20 hours, trying to, you know, building up my economy, min-maxing it, you know, really building up this, you know, several planets, you know, really, yeah, min-maxing the economy, building these massive armies. And then I didn't actually end up needing it because the game started moving to the point where I was like, no, I got to win now. Because if you take your time... It's a geniusly designed game. It's what stops you from doing that is the Third Republic or the Symbiote Invasion or the Vow, because they're like a natural timer. Now you can survive them, but they put like a natural timer on the game. They're also there to prevent players from killing each other off. Like, you really need as many players in the game as possible to be able to survive against them, because you are supposed to be defending the Imperium. Yeah, you're supposed to be defending humanity. You're not just there to kill everybody else off. So I think if you play it like a classic 4X game, it's a bit of a trap. Doomster says, I didn't even know Cogmind has ASCII. Yeah, I prefer it in ASCII because I can't like I don't mind the graphics. I forget what button it is. There we are. I don't mind the graphics, and they're quite readable. This is one of the few roguelike... Oh, I've hit an alarm. It's one of the few roguelike games where I actually quite... Get out of the way. Where I actually quite like... Let's get rid of that. Where I actually quite like using the ASCII... Sorry, not the ASCII. Graphics. Ouch. I might be in trouble here. Okay. Okay. Now we've got to be a little bit careful. I'm okay. They barely did any damage to me, so I think we need to move. Let's get out this way. I don't have a very good weapon, to be honest. What's this thing? It's a scout. Okay, we'll just ignore that. Cogmine's one of those games where you've got to be kitted out for fighting. If you're not kitted out for fighting... Okay, I'm just going to push through here. Okay, we've got a targeting computer that I could pick up. That might help me a little bit. The large storage unit would also be really useful. Fortunately, these things aren't tough. Now, the reason why I picked up the large storage unit is because it will give me some extra mass. There we go. Okay, we can get out of here. Oh. Go on. Yep. Alright, there we go. The Annihilator, Battle Mode. Ever played Keep Driving? It's a roguelike road trip simulator. No, I've not played that one. Invictus said, I wish every game in the world had Cogmind's UI. People stop using 80s PC's UI. Yeah, I quite like roguelike. You know, I like playing roguelikes. I'm one of those people who likes exploring user interfaces. So I'm one of those people who thinks that user interfaces, it's not just an interface. It's not just for controlling the game. It's part of the game. But not everyone agrees with me there. I think we want... I don't know what I usually get. More propulsion and power is probably a good idea. One McClark says, Civ 5 had a feature of simultaneous multiplayer and people would cheese by quickly moving units and attacking before the other player could respond. Yeah, I think Age of Wonders has that as well. And Gladius. Chris says, what do you think of Master of Magic Reboot Battle Mode? I don't think very much of it, I'll be honest. I like the graphics. I like the arts and presentation. Muhar did a great job of that. It's just a shame about the bad AI and the fact that weird... I don't know, I really do not like the... I really do not like the DLC content. I think it's awful. I don't know what's happened to Muhar. They're weird at the moment, man. That new game that they made's really weird. I really do not like the artwork in it at all. Oh, okay. Let's drop these legs. That's a beam rifle, which would be nice to have. I don't know if you know, but in Cogmind, right, all the stuff that you carry in your inventory can... I think this stuff can also take damage, I think. Or it might... Maybe it's just stuff that's equipped. But anyway, the more stuff you've got, the more health you've got, essentially. One McClark says... Oh, yeah, so anyway, Chris, yeah, so Master of Magic Reboot was a good effort, but they failed. But they got an impossible mission there. I don't think they could ever have pleased everybody, like, because it was too different from the original to be really seen as the original. I don't think people really understand how difficult, like how much putting hexes into the game instead of squares changed the gameplay, and it made it worse. Battle mode, you might like Dwarf Fortress. Oh, I do. I used to play Dwarf Fortress in ASCII. I played Dwarf Fortress a lot. I like it. Team Games 19. I think I'm allowed for misinterpretation based on what I said. Not simultaneous turns, but like everybody's in the same lobby. Oh, yeah, all right, okay. Yeah. So, I get it. Yeah, like Conquest of Elysium. I think, yeah, that'd be fine. The problem is with the Emperor of the Fading Suns, you need time to do diplomacy. And so, I don't know if it'd work like that, but yeah, I mean, you know, some people might enjoy it that way. I wouldn't. You guys talking about Songs of Six. I've just started playing that again, actually. Annihilator says, Battle Mode. Do you play Faster Than Light, FTL? Not for a long time, but I do like FTL. I've got the... I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Void Star or something? It's basically a Warhammer 40k inspired FTL game. I like that. That's good. Kendrell. Cogmind, Merry Christmas and Happy Boxing Day all. Yes, Merry Christmas. By the way, guys, I'm going to have to go. Void War, thank you, Doomson. Guys, I've got to go. I was intending to stay a little bit longer, but my missus needs me now, so I'm going to go and spend some time with her. But so yeah, I'm going to get off. Anyway, I thought I'd just play Cogmind a little bit. I really like this game. It's been a while since I played it. But yeah, if you... Yeah, go and play Cogmind. This is a great game, man. I might do another live stream later in the week if people are about. So thanks for coming in and hanging out. Like I realise, yeah, that not everybody has a great time on Christmas. Not everybody's got. I've always been really lucky. I've always had like family and stuff to hang out with, you know, and friends. But I always made a habit after I'd done the family stuff to go out and hang out with my mates because quite a lot of my friends like. They'd just be kicking around and like they'd just be waiting for people to be free, and it made me feel really bad. So I thought this year I was like, I know there's always people who you know, they're either on their own or they, you know, then, you know, they just don't like to be reminded of Christmas in various ways. So, you know, they'd rather just do something else. So I might make this a yearly thing, because I think people, you know, I think sometimes it's just nice to have people to hang out with. And even if, you know, you have a great Christmas and you know, you love it and you have a great family and all that shit, it's still nice to do stuff that's not just kind of, you know, being sat around the tree like unwrapping presents. I like to have a bit of a break from that for a bit too. So everyone's saying goodbye. Yeah, see you later, guys. Invictus says, Battle Mode, thanks for an awesome time. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate people coming and hanging out with me too. And I'm still always amazed that I get so many people who are interested in watching me talk shit, like, and you know, just playing games. But what I might do is, if for those of you who like Shadow Empire, I might do the next episode as a live stream, or I might do a episode as a live stream. Because I quite like, because I actually watched, I'll tell you this. So the other night I was drinking with the missus, before, and I don't often drink anymore. Not really a big drinker anymore. But I was still, I was a little bit drunk, and I was like, sort of, just, she'd gone to bed, and I was sort of trying to wind down, and I was just skipping through YouTube. We were listening to some music, and then one of my own videos came up, and it was a live stream that I did on Shadow Empire, one of the earlier episodes of Shadow Empire. But I did it as a live stream, so I watched it for a bit, and I was like, actually, this is quite entertaining. Like, it was more entertaining than I thought it'd be. And it got like 2,000 views nearly, which is quite a lot for me for a live stream. So I was like, maybe I should do more of those, because one of the good things about it is it gives me the opportunity to not only to get live feedback and people can help me with the game a little bit. I don't mind doing that, but also, you know, I get a connection with you guys too. You can ask questions live. So that's why you'll see me saying, oh, such and such says, because I think it's important if you do a live stream to make people, like, it's a bit more interesting for people who watch it back later if, you know, you're talking about what you're seeing as well, because then the whole thing's got a bit more context. But I might do that anyway. Anyway, Merry Christmas to you all, guys. Appreciate you all coming in, and I'll catch you next time. And see you later.